Welcome to the Parlor, a weekly fireside chat about your favorite television programs. I am one of your hosts, Dane, and I also host the podcast Live and Active Pop Culture.
My name is Seth, also known as Moose2006. I run the YouTube channel Moose2006LP.
Today we are going to continue our discussion of American Horror Story Season 6 by discussing Chapter 3.
Chapter 3 is directed by Jennifer Lynch, and writing credits go to James Wong.
As usual, we're going to be spoiling the episode and possibly speculating about future spoilers and previews and everything. So if you haven't watched the episode, make sure to watch it before you listen to this podcast, because otherwise you're not going to be as scared.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you can call this one scary.
Yeah.
I did not find this one particularly scary, but I still loved it.
Yep.
It was nice to not just have shot after shot of scary stuff.
I have a theory about that.
Okay, and it was a lot more substance. I mean, we got like entire lore, backstory.
Tons of information this episode.
Yes.
Tons of information.
Did you want to do 60-second recap?
I want to try.
Okay, let me get the timer.
Just give me 1 second. Let me just
I'll give you 61 seconds.
Okay. I think I'm ready.
Okay, and go.
Okay, so it starts out where we left off. We're looking for Flora, who is supposedly been taken by Priscilla, or we would think. They start to find clues about her whereabouts. They find her sweatshirt, which they find her doll in a very creepy position, which leads them to a farm where they find two feral hillbilly boys who are suckling on a pig, which is totally disgusting. After that, a weird her dad shows up and gets mad at the mom.
30.
They find him later completely burned. A psychic shows up. Oh, shoot. Sorry, we're having a technical glitch. Crap. They find him...
Do we need to fix it? I have a pause button.
Yeah, something... Hold on. Hold, please. Okay, sorry about that. If you're listening, you probably heard no difference.
Yeah.
There was no pause.
We just took like a minute-long break to fix some stuff.
But I think
back.
We're okay.
And go.
Okay. Starting over. They are still trying to find Flora.
Oh, we're starting over?
Oh, I don't know.
Where did you start the recording
so a
from?
I don't know. So the psychic shows up. His name's Cricket. He's really weird. He's wearing a bad wig. He starts to communicate. We get backstory on Kathy Bates' character, who's named the Butcher, and apparently Lady Gaga's a weird fairy who gave her a heart to eat, and then she killed her whole family. And at the end, I don't remember what happens.
Well, the most important part, the Butcher moved the colony to where they are now, which is why she's so territorial.
Yes.
But otherwise, that was about it.
Pretty good. I mean, pretty not terrible.
The tech difficulty really
threw me. It threw me, guys.
Threw us off a little bit.
Me off.
So, sorry, that was like a 67-second recount, but we'll forgive it.
Is there anything in there that we missed that we do need to talk about?
Nothing that we
plot-wise.
Nothing that we won't talk about in discussion.
Okay, perfect.
So
excellent.
All right. So as I already said, I did find this one a little more substantial and a little less scary, but
yeah, it's more plot driven.
Yeah.
We got more information.
Yeah, it was really, it was needed. I mean, we need that too. I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
I had like 8 little things.
Okay.
That we can start discussing, unless you have points to.
I have a couple of questions too, but I think a lot of them for me, I wrote at the beginning of the episode, and by the end of the episode they were answered.
Okay, so mine are small.
Okay.
Mostly to do with this episode, unlike last week.
I have a couple of big theories that are floating on in the universe that I want to discuss.
Okay.
But they can wait till the end,
I feel like those will be good to save. So my first one was we talked about last week, maybe the previews for the next episode are what they show at the beginning of next episode. So you know how at the beginning of the episode the documentary shows those little snippets.
Yeah.
And then throughout the episode you see those.
Yeah.
I looked at this week's preview.
And then started the episode?
No, after the episode.
Oh, okay.
And they are not the same.
They're not the same.
So they actually do give you a little bit of preview.
Okay.
That's not for next week.
Yeah.
That's not just those
the
little scenes. So I will probably continue to stay away. I did watch the one for next week. It's only like 30 seconds.
Yeah, they're
20 of which
previews.
is actual stuff. I didn't really get anything out of it. So
next week's I didn't get anything out of either. What I saw from the preview of next week is there's more focus on the murder word like that's painted. I
Yeah.
saw that a couple of times.
And
we didn't see anything. Of that.
Croatoan, right? Wasn't that written somewhere?
Yeah.
And this
Croatoan
episode we
more.
heard it a lot, but we still haven't seen it.
Yep.
So we still, and it has some effect. Like
Right.
we're
We don't
seeing
know
it-
exactly
We're
what
seeing
it
it has
does,
a power.
but-
So
Yeah.
anyway, still the mystery thing is really great. I forgot to mention last week the description on Amazon for every episode is just the next installment, or this is the next episode of the 6th installment of. That's what everyone says.
So they're really not
It's just
giving
one
you
sentence
anything.
saying that it's an episode.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool.
That's awesome.
Okay,
Way to cover your bases.
yeah,
Like
love
that's
it.
exciting.
Love it. Okay, second thing.
Okay.
So the second and third thing have to do with the interviews,
Mm-hmm.
the talking heads. So I'm kind of picking up. Well, you talked last week. We'll go with this one first, since we've discussed it. Is the fact that Matt and Shelby really show little emotion.
I was going to ask about this exact same thing.
Okay, and you mentioned last week that there's a theory, or you had a theory that they were not actually Matt and Shelby, but
Yeah.
were actors for the documentary to play Matt and Shelby who
Potentially.
don't make it out alive.
Yeah.
Okay, still good. I'm also thinking now that maybe they're just over it or so far removed emotionally from it.
Possibly.
Based on what happens at the end of the episode between them.
Oh, that's true. That's a good
That
point.
they're just like dead.
Yeah, we
and
forgot about that
numbed
part. That
to
they.
it. Yeah, and
Oh,
well,
that was a
that's-
big thing that
yeah.
we need to discuss.
Oh, that's why I said that'll come up in discussion.
Yeah.
As it is right now. But
the question, like, even this is still traumatic. Like, why is Lee the only one who has any sort of emotion associated with any of this?
yeah,
Like,
and I think that will be revealed. So I still really like the theory that they're just actors as well.
I think they might be. I don't know. The thing is, I feel like Flora is going to be alive.
Oh, see, that's my third point. Okay, so my other point here is that they never find Flora alive. Is I literally wrote that because she breaks down so much during the interview. And if they had found her alive, I don't think she would have gotten so distraught talking about she's talking about like how long it takes to find them. And she says something about at a certain point I knew we might just be looking for a body.
But
and
yeah, but I feel like that's that's to throw us off.
I don't know.
I feel like she's alive.
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm camp alive.
I
You're
think-
camp dead.
Let's say even if they find her alive, they never get her back. Like
Okay.
she might just stay with the
colony.
dead.
Okay.
Yes, because
I can concede to that, but I don't think she's there. I don't think they're going to find her like mutilated like they did the husband.
No, I don't think they would do
In
that
any
to
way.
a child
No.
in this show.
I don't know.
Really?
They've done some pretty messed up stuff in
Yeah,
this
that's
show.
true. But no, based on her reaction, I think Flora's still gone in her life, at least at the moment. So
Well, I think that if they do find her, she does not have custody of her.
probably not.
So-
but either does Mason.
Well, he's dead.
'Cause Mason is
he's
charred.
fully burned.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah, that was rough stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was Flora at first.
I didn't. I was like, that's too big to be
Too
Flora.
big. Yeah, it took me a while, but I was like, yeah. Anything else about the interviews?
I just feel like there's no way. I feel like Lee is the only real one potentially. So we started to see the interview like fray around the edges,
Yes.
which I thought was really important.
We got a little like behind the scenes.
Yeah, and so that was what made me think that possibly, I don't know. I'm still sort of thrown about that. We got to hear the producer's voice, and the producer is Cheyenne Jackson, who played Will Drake last season. Did you catch that?
Oh no, I did not.
I'm good at recognizing voices, so I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
that's him." So
That's great.
that's him. So we know he's in the show, so we know. To me, that's a very specific clue that it's going to fall apart.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we know he's got an acting credit. It's not just going to be a voiceover credit. There's no way that that's going to happen. So something is going to happen in those interviews that goes awry. And
Yes.
that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. Like when we're talking about when Lee breaks down,
Yeah, when
and then
she's
it
like, turn it off,
actually,
turn it off.
Like shows the set.
Yeah.
And like her getting a Kleenex or something.
Yeah, and
that was definitely probably a foreshadowing that at some point that's going to be
I
the
think
show.
so. And we hear him tell her or ask her about Emily, her first daughter.
Yeah.
Which was what the big thing is. And so I feel like not only this is giving me a clue as to the motivation of the show within a show. At this point, I feel like at first it seemed very innocent, like sort of like, well, this is a show where we talk about a horrible experience that happened to us. We're going to do a reenactment. It's an hour of intrigue and fun, like that sort of like nothing. But him pressing her on something that she had not revealed in the story, and she asks, how did you know that? Well, we did extensive background checks. That's making me feel like it's more turning into this sort of pseudo reality show where there is some ethical questions about what's being displayed at this point. So I will see. I'm curious to see what happens here.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's being more produced. I think that's a clue that the story is being more produced than we had originally thought.
Very true.
So
yeah,
I'm curious to see where we go with that.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'm excited because I love a good reality show.
Yes,
and I love a good production. Like,
this is
produce away.
Have we heard the producer talk to Shelby or Matt in the interviews?
Only Lee.
And they have not revealed anything. There's no behind the scenes with them yet.
Nope.
Yeah, there's something with them.
Yeah.
Or the acting's just bad. I don't know.
But they're both good actors.
Yes,
that's the thing. Like, I don't think so.
That's why I'm like, there's no way. We've seen Rabe before in several.
Somebody on Reddit posted that they thought that the actress playing Shelby, or like the real Shelby, was starting to fall apart because they noticed like a weird eye twitch. But I feel like that could have just been the actress, like, or that could have just been Lily Rabe, like twitching out a little bit. But so it could be. I mean, I think that people are grasping, but I think it's coming soon.
I think a lot of us are.
But three
grasping.
episodes, and it's going to go off the rails.
Yeah.
So I'm ready.
Episode 6, he said.
Yep.
All right.
6 is a big thing, and I want to talk about that as well.
All right. Next thing I had. Let's go with. Okay. Lee leaves the house for 4 hours.
Yeah.
The night Mason is murdered. I mean, burned alive.
Yep.
She did it or not did it?
I don't think she did it.
I think she did it.
You think she did it?
I think she did it, but I don't think she remembers doing it. Because she never revealed
I'm changing my mind. I think she did it.
She never reveals where she was. And she's in complete denial about it to them. But the biggest clue, so this is when I was going to bring up Matt. At the end of the show, we know Matt has sex with the Lady Gaga character, whatever she is. Witch?
Wood witch, wood nymph, crazy, cannibal, awful person.
Something, okay.
Whatever she is.
Whatever she
Spirit.
is, Matt's like...
Fully.
Like Shelby loses him in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And
he doesn't remember.
And he doesn't remember doing that, which means that it's possible Lee had this 4-hour episode where she doesn't remember doing that.
I feel like...
Or the Matt having sex with the Lady Gaga character was all Shelby's vision.
Yeah, one of the two is not real.
Yes.
Okay, here's the thing.
Because what else was Lee doing?
Looking for Flora. Like,
oh, that's
like,
all you think?
Possibly. Just still like, Flora, come here, Flora. If she did it, like, there's no way she could have done that herself, though. Like...
Oh, she probably didn't. She probably had help from the butcher.
Like, the butcher had to be a part of it, right? I mean, like, there's no way...
I think it was all...
I feel like maybe she witnessed it. Like...
Oh, okay.
I just feel like there's no... I feel like she knew... Like, she witnessed it before she came back, and that...
I think she was part of it. I don't think it was her control to be part of it, but I think...
Possibly.
Like, just like Matt.
Yeah, it's complicated. I don't think she just, like, went out and killed Matt.
I don't think under her own control she did it, but I think...
Something possessed her or pulled her.
Physical body did it.
Okay.
And we may never know with this show.
I think we'll find that out.
Okay.
That seems like something that they're going to reveal after episode 6. Like they'll start to show the real story. You know what I mean?
That's going to be
What if
insane.
after episode 6? What if after episode 6? Oh, okay. I'm having a theory. What if after episode 6? Like, that's the end of the TV show story. Like, that's when it stops.
Like end credits
to Roanoke Nightmare. Then we see what actually really happened with those three actors, and it's not the same. It's after episode 6. It's the same show, but it's not the same.
So it
show.
Starts over.
Kind of starts over, but we see the true.
So the first half is Roanoke Nightmare. Second half horror story.
Yeah, could be.
That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool
if it was different enough.
Yeah, but it's not going to be different enough
or it could be really different.
Or it could be way. I feel like there's no way the TV show is making it less bad than it is. You know, like it would have to be making it way worse.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I'm talking myself out of that.
Okay.
But maybe.
Could be.
Like I would love to see, because then it would answer where was Lee during that time. Like we see what actually happened. We see what happened. But then they're going to have to bring in completely new characters for all those hillbillies. And there aren't enough people on this cast to do that.
No.
So. Okay.
All right. What else do I have? Okay, Cricket. Thoughts?
Okay.
Those are my thoughts. I read your face.
I want to talk more about Cricket when I talk about this like big theory that some people have about the season. Because
I just wanted to talk about Cricket's character.
Did you ever watch Will and Grace?
Yeah, I love Will and Grace.
He played Beverly Leslie on that show, the little Karen's little friend.
Okay.
He's sort of a dandy who's married to a woman, but everybody's like, come on. So anytime he's on screen, that's all I can imagine is him playing Beverly Leslie from Will and Grace. And
he doesn't downplay that sort of
role.
Still.
No, exactly. I hated his wig. I wanted to snatch. I wanted Lady Gaga's character to come in, snatch that right off, throw it in the woods.
Yep.
But I think he plays a role in I think he plays an important role in a potentially sort of solid theory that I've heard so far. So,
like the profession he does, or like his
just the character and his presence plays something.
That's
to
fine
do
with me. I have no problem with the psychic being here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like he's going to be around for a few more episodes.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I mind
his just performance.
I mind the performance.
Yeah, he's not good.
We talked last week about how, or maybe it's 2 weeks ago already, where Angela Bassett finally is playing a real character.
Yes, and he's playing a complete.
And now he's the one who's like off the rails, over the top.
Yeah,
like this isn't. I don't know. It's just
he's supposed to. Don't you think he's supposed to kind of represent like what's her name from Poltergeist? Sort of resemble her, Zelda Rubinstein.
Look at us go.
That's
that was impressive.
If you can name Zelda Rubinstein, you've got it. Okay, we can be friends.
I am proud of that. Holy
If
cow.
you can identify Zelda Rubinstein out of a series of photos of people, we can be friends.
If you identify her more strongly from picket fences, then
see, I identify her more from Teen Witch.
Oh, okay.
So
there we go.
All cases amazing, but. Don't you think that in some sense he kind of fits that? Like, I mean, we've talked about how Horror Story always is pulling from other other movies and shows. I feel like that because in that movie she was so weird.
But
and
couldn't
over
he
the top.
just have been a more real character?
Yeah, I mean, he could have been less strange.
The
whole thing was strange. I was not into it.
It was just too over the top for what the season has been.
I was not totally into the.
It would have fit in Coven. Like that character performance, but not this. Not this one.
Hold that thought.
Okay,
for later. Right. I just feel like, I agree. I feel like I didn't like the psychic storyline that much.
Yeah,
I just am not into psychics.
I'm not because they're
not real.
Yeah. So. I don't know if you've ever seen Penn and Teller's show Bullshit.
No.
It came out.
But now we have to put an explicit rating on this. I'm kidding.
Oh, do we? Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Sorry, iTunes.
No, we won't. It doesn't matter.
So, from like the mid-2000s to like 2011 maybe, there's 6 or 7 seasons of Bullshit. Penn and Teller. And they just...
Like debunk stuff,
right?
Yeah.
And one of them is on psychics, and it's amazing. Go watch that show. It's on...
Actually, that sounds pretty good.
Hulu, maybe?
Okay.
Amazon, both of them, maybe. There's one on like recycling. I mean, they really cover like the gambit. So really good stuff. Anyway,
I'd be interested in
this
that,
kept reminding me of that episode because of how hard they debunk it, and then this is just like not glorifying it, but it's anyway. I didn't like it. Anyway,
I liked that he was a scam artist.
That's where I was going next.
I felt like that was the right move for that character, like the most realistic. Because this season it seems to be all about realism.
That's
in some way.
Yes, that's why it bothered me so much. And maybe that's the point: is that he's not real. He is a scam artist, so that's why his performance is so out of place. I don't know. I'm stretching. I'm grasping as well, but it really turned me off a little bit of the ambiance. Talking about the scam artist, I didn't know if this was when he talks about the $25,000. Wasn't sure if that was Murphy's commentary on psychics or commentary on the pharmaceutical / medical business in America in general, or
solving,
or no commentary at all.
No, I think that was commentary. I mean, I do think that was the right way to go for him to turn out to be a crook, because in the $25,000, I'm not sure if that number is significant. I mean, it's high enough that no one could actually really realistically pay it up front, but it's like,
except she does, but
which who knows if she could do that, but payable enough that it's like, it's not like $1 million. Okay, that's not possible. So that's stupid. I think it would have been better if it was $10,000. I feel like that would have made more sense.
Yeah, a little more approachable. But then I really liked how he explains that he has to also make a living.
Yeah,
and that's when I started thinking of like the pharmaceutical side of things, where people always complain or go crazy when drug companies hike prices. But one, it's a business.
Yeah,
and two, they use that money to fund their company, to fund research and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I kind of felt for him as well. Yes, the price was ludicrous.
Yeah.
But if he does this twice a year, he needs.
Yeah, exactly. How often is he actually being pulled away from this?
Yeah.
Hopefully more than twice, because he lives on the East Coast.
That's true.
That would be tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. Do you think he's legit?
It seems like it, based on.
But keep in mind, what we've seen is probably an actor.
Yeah. So in real life,
was he legit? I don't know. Did he even exist? I think he existed in real life.
Yeah, he probably was an actual just scam artist psychic. But the dramatization had him talking to the ghosts, who are also actors right now.
As far as we can tell, yes.
Yeah,
it's confusing because I think we're going to find out in real life he is not legit.
But we know that in this world, psychics do exist.
They do exist, and specifically, also, I think it's tough to say, but I feel like it's safe to say that this is the same world as Coven, and this happens after Coven, so people are aware of witches existing. Do you think that is true?
I think it's the same world, and
because remember at the end of Coven, there's that big press conference, and everybody knows.
Yeah, because that comes back in Hotel.
Oh yeah, that's right. It does.
Is this after Coven?
It would have to be, don't you think? The clothes are modern enough to be after Coven.
This is modern, today.
I think so.
Okay. So I think it's safe to assume all that.
I think that's true too. So I think people are willing to believe in psychics. Whether he's actually a psychic, I don't know. So,
and then the last point I want to make: his name reminds me of
Bugs.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Ah,
that's all I could think of.
Rickety Cricket.
It was Rickety Cricket the whole time.
A lot of people a lot of little girls are named Cricket.
What?
A lot of girls are named Cricket. It's a female name.
Real girls?
I know some people.
Human girls?
Yeah.
Have the name.
Not real dolls. That's not what we're talking about here.
I'm sorry, but their name's Cricket?
Yeah, people. It's I think it's a British thing.
Oh,
Cricket.
I'm not judging.
It's a very wealthy British name. Yeah, Cricket.
A wealthy British name is Cricket.
I think so. Yeah.
So that's where he gets the name Cricket. Okay. Anyway, it reminds me of Rickety Cricket from Always Sunny, which is a hilarious show. All right, let's move on. We've already talked about that, and the only thing I had left was, is Lady Gaga a witch? But we've kind of really quickly went over that.
I think she is a witch.
I think she's just a witch.
I think she's a witch who doesn't have a coven in the 1500s.
Yes.
She's a wood witch.
Because you get burned alive.
Right. She's just lives in the woods.
She may have gotten burned alive. Maybe that's why they burn people alive.
Although there is another theory about what she does that I want to talk about.
Okay, we'll get to that.
That I'm kind of intrigued by.
What was the last thing? Croatoan.
Yeah.
So the boys are shouting it, right?
The boys shout it.
And then the psychic Cricket shouts it at the butcher?
Yeah, at the butcher and the ghost that nobody can see, but they're there.
So it has repelling powers?
Yeah, because if you remember in season 1, episode 1, or in season 1, Billy Dean Howard, the psychic, tells Violet to yell Croatoan at him.
Oh,
or she tells the story of the Roanoke colony and the word Croatoan, and that everybody disappeared. And so she tells her to try it, and it doesn't work on Tate. Like, yelling Croatoan at him doesn't work. But maybe it works on these ghosts.
Because this is the actual colony?
Yeah. So I have a question here. So in the past, we've seen ghosts be confined to a single building because it's like a domicile, like it's where they live.
Yeah.
Do you think that the reason these ghosts can roam this land is because they lived off the land?
Yes.
That's what I think
This
too.
is their turn. I mean,
so it's their version of a house.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it was their colony.
Yeah.
And the butcher even says we won't leave this land. Like, we won't step foot off our land.
Right.
Because they can't, probably.
And they want the house burned down. They're on board with burning the house down because that means no one else will come there and try to live on that land. So
yeah, it's this. Yeah, it is. It's basically season 1 house, just forest,
but outside. Yeah. I like that.
It's
actually
great.
I think that's a good idea.
And
because forests are freaky.
They are.
They're scarier than houses to me.
They are.
There's also spiders in forests, and I don't like that.
Well, there's a lot of other things like bugs.
Well,
there are bugs, beetles.
Well, I did see a spider in this house the other day, which I did not like. Not into it.
Okay, I lost all thoughts.
I had a couple of things that I wrote down.
Great. So, I really like the connection to history.
Me too.
I'm really liking that it's not just like ghosts in a forest.
Yeah,
but it's like the lost colony of Roanoke.
I like that.
Which
it's fun.
I think if he would have themed this Roanoke beforehand, we would have rolled our eyes.
We would have been like, "Oh boy,
okay, here we go."
Yeah,
but nope, it's really going well.
I've strongly resisted looking up the lost colony of Roanoke. I just want to see where he goes with it first, and then I can do the Wikipedia dive.
Yeah.
Similarly, I thought I was going to hate anything set in the 1500s because I think a whole season set in the 1500s, listening to those terrible accents,
the Scottish,
they're not good. They are not good.
I don't mind Kathy Bates's.
Hers is the worst to me.
I don't.
Kathy Bates, stop doing accents.
Keep it up.
When she did the Baltimore accent, water and all that stuff that she was doing in season 4. And she did a Southern accent in season 3. She didn't have an accent in season 5. And this season she has a Scottish accent. I am like...
She does...
I can't. Her accent work needs work. She is one of the best... She is one of the greatest actors of all time. Still. I still think that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I love that she is a grisly, horrible person in this season. Like, I like her as a villain. She's good as a villain. She's a great villain.
Yeah, because she was kind of a villain in, was that Coven?
Yeah.
But she kind of just also wasn't. Remember, she started off really bad, and then she came back alive, and they just
cut her head off, and then made her listen to watch and made her watch like civil rights marches.
Yeah,
then she still called people the N-word.
Yeah,
like it was just like
it started off so.
What are we gonna do here with her?
Kind of like Tate in that season as well, but
yeah, he was Frankenstein.
Someone we haven't seen yet either.
I know he's a
pig.
He's a presence I'm curious
Probably
about.
A pig. A lot of pigs.
Yeah, that was my question.
Okay.
So what is the symbolism of the pigs? I think we figured it out, like partially because it was a pig heart or like a wild boar heart that Lady Gaga's character gave Kathy Bates in the woods. So there's like some connection to the animal there. But would this be as scary with any other animal?
No.
I don't think so either. I don't think you could do this with a cow.
No.
You couldn't do it with a dog. You couldn't do it with a wolf. Nothing. The pig is the scariest animal.
It is.
Because they're loud.
Yeah.
They have distinct cries. And their flesh is human-like.
Yeah. Good point.
And I think that is a good choice. Pigs are actually kind of freaky.
They are. Well, yeah.
Like, I mean, like in this context.
In this context.
Like they're human enough
like
looking.
Yeah.
But they're far enough away from humans that they're obviously animals. Like it's very...
And their squeal is
unsettling.
Awful. Yeah, because this beginning scene where they find the doll with the pig parts, and then they find the pig with the doll parts, and then the baby pig's all laying around dead, and the kids suckling at the pig, and
the pig is
it was all
important here.
It was all too bad. It was all gross.
Those kids freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was not expecting that.
Well, when they started yelling Flora, like just mimicking them,
yeah,
it was awful.
And I want to shout out Derek, our friend, who probably doesn't listen to this podcast, but he accidentally spoiled that for me. But it still scared me, so I was good.
So he watches this.
He's watching now.
Okay.
So he was telling me, he texted me like, horror story this season is legit scary. He was behind.
It is, yeah.
And he's like, when they found those 2 kids in the barn, I got chills. I was like, wait, what? I haven't watched episode 3 yet.
He knows you don't watch
just,
until Friday.
Well, I don't know if he knows that, but he didn't watch. I figured he hadn't gotten that far. But,
wow.
But it still legit gave me like a little shiver. I did not like it. It creeped me out.
They did, yeah.
Very creeped out. So
yeah. Anyway, I'm wondering if the pig is just something. Obviously the heart. If it's a punishment she started giving, because we've already seen her put the pig head on a man. And we see her get the cage put on her.
Yeah.
So is that how she started punishing people in her colony, was by putting pig heads on them and then maybe eating them, because we know they needed food.
Yeah, they're cannibalistic.
So they
I feel like,
turned them into pigs, quote unquote, before they. I don't.
That's a good.
We've kind of.
Yeah, that's a good.
Well, we've seen all this so far.
That's
we
a good
saw
point.
him roasting the man. We've seen him.
They do
hungry.
a lot of like burning of people, which is weird. So yeah, people and pigs are sort of
people, pigs, fire, mass heads.
Yeah,
and there's a pig man,
and there's a pig man with a pig on his head, and that we saw 2 animal skulls that looked like goat skulls.
Yeah, they did in the fridge,
which was disgusting. Those were really
that whole scene was
unsettling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we know that Priscilla.
Oh,
might be. Let's see. She called her the bastard's child.
Yeah. So somebody's. She's something like.
I'm trying to make connections because I wrote it down.
Is it her first son's kid?
Yeah, something.
The oldest son who she killed, because she seems to hate him the most.
She never killed her son, right?
She killed her second son. I think there were 2 guys who were her sons.
I think it's just the one, because she said if you hadn't come from myself or my loins or something, you'd. I thought the other one was just a guy.
I got the impression that was also her son,
oh.
but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I'm open to criticism on that.
Okay, I don't know.
But
so
either way,
I think
it could be that guy's daughter, because she hates that guy the most.
Yeah, and Priscilla. She hates Priscilla.
She hates Priscilla a lot.
So
I think we'll figure out who Priscilla is here soon.
It's got
We got to see Priscilla too, right?
Not necessarily. Could just always be in the distant, creeping me out.
How old do you think Priscilla is?
Flora's age.
You think about the age? So maybe that girl who was one of the vampires last season. What was her name?
Oh yeah,
Ren.
I don't know.
Remember
Ren.
her?
Yeah,
I liked her.
Could be her.
She was a good actress. I could see that.
Yeah.
Or they could bring Holden back. Yes!
I'll have to turn on subtitles.
Yeah, because...
Make sure they're on. Poor kid.
That kid could not talk. He should not be in movies.
Well, the kid who played Anakin in Star Wars 1 is like schizophrenic now.
Probably.
Because he just kept getting berated at school and then at conventions and in life.
For being a bad actor?
Yeah.
Well,
he was like 6, and it was bad writing.
For him.
Sorry, but the movie was bad. He couldn't.
This kid, though, he was not a good actor.
Okay.
He just couldn't say words right.
He's also 2.
But I liked, you know who else could come back is that other kid. What was his name? Not Holden, but the other one with the long hair. The brown hair. I forget. I liked him.
The son.
Yeah, he was good.
Drake's son, who really had no point to be there.
No, he was completely pointless in the whole show. But
literally had 0
I liked him still.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Anyway. Okay. Theories.
So I wanted to first talk about the music, though.
Oh.
Have you noticed that there is no music in this season?
You mentioned it a time or 2 ago.
I really like it. And I was worried that eventually they would start throwing in some underscoring, because in a hotel, music also played a role, but it was like always like fit the mood. Like it was very well used. Same with the other seasons. You hear music in the background. This season, nothing. Just ambient sound.
They played the Moth to Flame one, wasn't that in this show? Or is that Mr. Robot? That was Mr. Robot. Sorry, we did that on the same day. So.
Yeah, that was Mr. Robot.
You're right. So, yeah, there's
been no music, which
I bet that
adds
changes once we go off the documentary.
You think so?
I think that's a documentary choice.
I think that's a documentary choice as well.
So I bet once we get back to if that even happens, like they could be the documentary the whole show.
Like it could be, we could just find out some huge twist. Like it could just be like,
it could still be Roanoke Nightmare.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, but no, I agree. It's
okay. So there's this theory going around that I really want to talk about that I think actually holds a little bit of water, and the reason somebody wrote an article about it, and I don't remember who did, so I can't credit that person, but I feel like there's legitimacy to it. So because we know that the big twist comes in episode 6, people have speculated that the first 5 episodes, each one will sort of resemble a season before them. So let's go through what we have so far.
Okay.
So episode 1 is about a family moving into a haunted house.
Season 1.
And they're haunted by very weird happenings, and there are weird things, and there are ghosts. Okay?
Yep.
Episode 2 was primarily a big storyline in that movie was about 2 nurses who murdered patients who were like left in the house to die.
Asylum. Got it.
People predicted that the supernatural or witches will play a big role in episode 3.
Coven.
Coven. So what do we get? We get
Lady
Cricket,
Gaga witch,
who's a psychic. We get Lady Gaga as a witch. So in theory, next episode will have more to do with Freak Show. And Ryan Murphy has said we're going to learn more about Dandy Mott's family and the origins of that family. So possibly that could show up and be the tie to Freak Show, because it's all done in sort of an obscure way.
Yeah.
It's like resembles. It's not like a direct
It's a hindsight.
connection.
You can see it, but
it's not like
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then maybe episode 4 we'll hear about the Motts, and they'll be sort of important. Maybe they lived in this area, or we learn about their company. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Episode 5, maybe they leave the house and they check into a hotel that's close by because they're scared. Hotel. Like I feel like there could be like little things, and then in episode 6 we're gonna get the true. Like people are like maybe the true theme will make itself appear in episode 6.
Ooh. So this might not be
Roanoke. It could be sort of a throw off or something. I think it is Roanoke, but
wow.
So I thought there was some weight to that.
There is legitimacy.
It seems very
the
plausible.
Numbers match. The episodes have matched. Yeah. And again, it's not direct. But
it's not direct. It's like, okay, there's like a supernatural element to this. Episode 3 was all about the supernatural.
Because we talked about how episode 1 was very house-like, like season 1-like.
But then episode 2 wasn't.
But it wasn't at all in season 2.
Yep. The other theory that I saw, and I read an article, I don't remember who wrote it. Again, I was on some site. It was their thought was that possibly Lady Gaga's character represents Satan or a demon herself, as itself, because the way that she speaks to Kathy Bates' character in the woods was like, "Surrender your soul to me, give your soul to me," and we've seen references to Satan throughout the series before. Season 1, we've got the Antichrist that comes up. Season 2, we've got Mary Eunice possessed by the devil. Yep. Like, there's some... So, potentially, she's like Satan. So, before in this season, we saw her standing behind Kathy Bates, and we thought, oh, she's like a minion. But maybe she's sort of in charge of all of this that's happening. So, I don't know. I think it's...
We didn't even talk about her performance.
Which was, again...
Incredible.
Freaking incredible.
So good.
I was not expecting that at all.
The voice and the movement and the eyes and
I was watching with the light on, but that scene was really dark. I wanted to see it so bad, like, because it was so good. Like, it was dark blue, the whole scene. I got up, I turned the light off and watched the rest of this. There was a glare on the TV, so I couldn't see. So I was like, nope, I got to see this because it's going to be good. She has the blood dripping down her face. She's sort of smiling. She's
sort of smiling.
Like
that's it. But
it's
she's
amazing.
not.
But she's not. And her weird voice is crazy. Also, I realized today she and Natasha Lyon, who plays Nikki on Orange is the New Black, should play sisters in something.
They should play sisters.
They look similar. I think they'd be great.
All right.
I'm calling for that.
Did you know Natasha Lyon, is that her name?
Yeah.
Was also in American Pie.
Yes.
Okay.
She was.
It took me a long time to recognize her in when I watched Orange is the New Black.
Yep. But she needs to... I think they need to play sisters.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Lady Gaga act more.
I would not either. She's wonderful, and so far she's shown a huge range.
Yep, 2 seasons, huge range.
Yep, and she, I mean, if you think about it, she did like the way she's kind of performed throughout her career. We've talked about this before, but she's she's mutated each time. Like I think back to that performance of the Sound of Music medley at the Oscars, which was incredible. Like after meat dress, after egg, everything, it was like, well, what's this going to be?
I'll have to YouTube it.
You hear Lady Gaga's performing at the Oscars. It's like, okay, what's this going to be? And then she shows up and she freaking kills it. Just subdued, beautiful singing, excellently executed like performance. Just very simple.
All right.
And but then you go and you watch her do like crazy, like Saturday Night Live performance, and it's like, wow, this is also crazy and amazing in a weird way. I for a while was really off the Lady Gaga train in college, but in the last couple of years have gotten right back on.
Yeah, she deserves
as everybody else has gotten off, I've gotten right back on. The one area where I will not concede is she did a big stint with Tony Bennett singing standards, which I was like, nope, not into it. Boring.
I could check that out.
They're okay, but I'm not into it.
All right. Yeah.
I'm back on the train.
Yeah.
She's got a new album coming out this year. Can't wait.
Great.
Can't wait for it. I think it's going to be amazing. So,
I bet it will.
There you go.
Anything else?
Do you have any theories about what's to come?
No.
Okay.
Nothing more than that.
It's just so like what is going to be?
Yeah.
Like what's it going to be?
I like the 5-season one.
I like that theory too. I was like,
so
that's pretty good. It may be coincidence, but I don't know. I feel like that's not coincidence.
Yeah. I'm still very excited about this show.
Me too.
This season.
Totally. And I'm excited for episode 6 because it seems like it's going to flip again because I feel like 12 episodes of this would get too much.
Yeah.
But I'm like the thought of like episode 6 is going to change things around. On board.
Well, the fact that we know this much information in episode 3 really is a clue that things have to change a lot.
Oh, another thing I've heard before is like maybe the other seasons are also reenactments, but without talking heads.
I don't like that.
And I was like, I don't like that. I think that's stupid.
Nope.
The other seasons are what they are.
Nope.
Don't do that.
Just because it's a theory doesn't mean we have to listen to it.
No, I just disagree with it wholeheartedly.
We're going to go cut that out of the show.
No, we're going to leave it in.
The fact that you mentioned it, we're cutting it out.
Absolutely not.
Deleting it.
Absolutely not. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I read, but there's just not so many theories this season because they're just so...
It's a very original...
They're not giving us much.
It's not like a formulaic season.
Oh, the other thing that was a connection to season 3 in this episode was the doll. It was like a voodoo doll situation. So not exactly, but it was like, okay, that could be a stand-in. Like,
you can definitely make dots, which also means we might be grasping, but
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like those three things are really like tangible. And if you're going to connect to season 3 in any way, this is a much better way to do it than to bring in Queenie. Like, let's just... Because it could have been like, oh, Queenie's going to stop by for a couple of minutes.
But that can't happen.
Because she is dead.
Spoiler alert for season 5.
Queenie is dead. Thank God.
No more secretary phone calls.
Oh, horrible.
The worst. That was Freak Show, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right. She comes back a lot.
She's come back 2 times.
Well, that was in Queenie, but it was...
Yeah.
Anyway, did we have any Parlor mail?
No, not that I saw.
All right.
Sorry. So somebody needs to send us something.
Theories, predictions, corrections,
fan mail.
Tell us how great we are.
Hate mail would also be welcome at this point.
Tell us how much we suck.
I'm just double checking that right now. That's
fine.
Sure.
Okay. While you double check, I'm going to tell them how we get there. How they get there. I don't need to get there. You can email us at theparlorpodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet us at theparlorpod.
Yep.
Or you can find everything on theparlorpodcast.com.
Our new website, which is new.
It's like 2 weeks
old.
It's
not
that
new now. It's getting.
It's our old website.
Yeah,
same old website.
Same website. Same thing.
2 weeks new. Okay.
Yeah. So be sure to check that out. If you haven't done so already, we really, really hope that you will take the time this week to please go to iTunes and give us a rating and a review. And at the very least, subscribe. Even if you're not using the iTunes app to listen to our podcast, it would be awesome if you could do that on your computer. Like, just go through and do that, because it really helps other people find the show. It helps us kind of move up the charts so we can get new listeners and get more people engaged. So we're trying to do that.
Yeah.
All the time.
Next episode is called Chapter 4.
Great.
Just figured I might as well continue that tradition.
One other thing. So we both kind of thought this episode was a little lighter. It wasn't as scary.
Yeah.
Season 1, scary.
Yeah.
Season 2, pretty scary. Season 3,
ridiculous.
not scary.
Yeah.
So
Season 4, it was
to me, not scary at all. Thought it was
Season
horrible.
4, I liked Season 4.
Will I hate episode 4? That's the question.
I liked Freak Show. I will probably like episode 4.
I don't know why I have such an aversion to Freak Show, but
I
did
either.
not like it.
I liked it.
Hated it. I ended up not liking it one bit.
Interesting.
So,
all right.
I liked some of it, but by the end I was over it.
It was tough,
I like the stuff with
tough
Twisty.
to come back after the 2-week break.
Yep.
That they always do, which they might not do this year.
Hopefully not. I liked all of the serial killer stuff. That was
Dandy
my favorite.
was great.
I loved
More
the serial
Dandy,
killer stuff.
yeah.
I loved the clown.
Yeah, but they
Other
got
than
rid of
that-
that too soon.
Too soon.
That clown
gone
should have
too
been
soon.
there the whole time.
Yep.
Along with Dandy.
And then we just go to like Emma Roberts, like pretending to shoot people or something. Like, who cares? I don't care about you.
Now you're bringing me down on Freak Show, but
Yep.
I still like it. Until next time.
Emma Roberts has found her place at Scream Queens. So
Yeah, so
she's
we won't
good
see
there.
her again, right?
I don't think so. I think she's safe there.
Yeah.
Stay where you are. So.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for listening.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.